Hello guys, welcome back. This is our new lecture series or special edition of our lecture series in which we will be discussing about some special topic. Okay, so today I took a topic which is inertial and non-inertial frame, which is from 11th standard, you can say. Okay, so I will describe each and every part of this inertial and non-inertial frame in very details. Okay, but before that, let me remind you what is our main focus. Our main focus is what, why, and how. This is our basic theme and we have to justify this theme in every lectures, in every new topic. We have to justify that what we are studying, why we are studying, and what's the need of studying that and how we're gonna study that. Okay. So for answering what we are studying inertial and non-inertial frame. Okay. That is simple. But let me know what's the need of studying that. Why it is very important to study this inertial and non-inertial frame. Our life is going well without studying in this topic, inertial and non-inertial frame. So what's the need of doing that? So for that, I will answer this question by taking a real life example. Have you been in a lift? Have you been in a lift? Suppose this is my lift and you are standing here and this lift is going upward. So what you will experience? And this lift is going down. So there are two cases, what you will experience in this case and what you will experience in this case. You will experience that you are feeling very light in this case. Light, right? No, you will feel that you are much heavier in this case, and you will feel that you are very light when lift is going down. So why is it so? Why is it so that when you are in a lift and lift is going upward, you feel heavier? And why is it so that when lift is going down and you feel much lighter? Why is it so? So to answer this question, to understand the science behind that, to understand the physics behind that, to understand the basic nature of science or physics behind these real life processes, we need to understand real and non-inertial frames. Without knowledge, without having knowledge of inertial and non-inertial frame, you can't explain this. You can't explain these real life examples. You can't explain the science or physics behind these real life examples. So, to understand these real life examples in very detail and our experiences of real life examples, we have to have understand inertial and non-inertial frame. Okay. So, I gave you this one example. There are plenty more examples that I will be giving to you in this lecture, and you will be amazed to see that how this knowledge of inertial and non-inertial frame will help you in understanding these real life examples, the science and the physics behind these real life examples. I will give you one more example. Have you ever experienced like you are going in a merry-go-round? Okay, you are here. In this case, you are here. You are moving in a merry-go-round. Have you ever experienced that there is a force that is pulling you outward, radially outward? Have you ever experienced? You must have experienced. If you have gone through the merry-go-round, then you must have experienced it that there is a force that is always putting you outward, radially outward, isn't it? So I will explain to you why is it so, what's the science or physics behind that, and what's the science and physics behind that, these natural processes. Why is it so that when a lift go up, you will feel heavier, when a lift go down, you will feel lighter. So these are the real life examples that is based on this inertial and non-inertial frame. So if a guy will have a knowledge of this inertial and the non-inertial frame, then he can easily explain these real life experiences. Okay. So to understand these real life examples, to understand the physics behind these real examples, it is very important to have a knowledge of inertial and non-inertial frame. So that's why we are studying this. That's why it is very important to understand this topic, and that's why we are going to study this in this special edition of our lecture series. And how are we going to study this? How are we going to study this? We're going to study this by taking some real life example. It is very simple that, listen guys, like physics is very simple. If you can relate each and every concept of the physics with your real life example, then you can easily master this subject. There is no doubt. I can like 200% sure on this that if you can relate your each and every basic concept of the physics with the real life examples, because everything around you is physics driven, from how you walk, to how a fan move, to how you move in a lift, how a wind blow, how you are moving a car, everything is physics driven. So in order to understand physics or in order to master this subject, it is very important to apply these basic laws of physics like Newton laws and all these kinds of concepts basic concept of the physics with your real life example. If you can do that, you can easily master this subject. Okay, I can guarantee you. So I have already answered that what we are going to study, why we are going to study. This is very important. This is very important. And how we're going to study this? By taking some real life example. Because that is my teaching philosophy, and I personally feel this is the best way. That's how you can learn. This is the best way. That's how you can learn each and every concept of the physics, because you have been experiencing these concepts in your daily life. That's why if you can relate these concepts while studying from my lectures or any lectures, you can relate these concepts in your real life, then you can easily master this subject. You can easily master this subject. So let's do that. So first I will be giving you a definition of what is inertial and non-inertial frame, and then we will see in details that what is actually going on. Inertial, non-inertial. So what is inertial frame? A frame that is moving with a constant velocity or at rest with respect to Earth is known as inertial frame. Okay, so what this definition says, it says a frame that is moving with a constant velocity or at rest with respect to Earth. Remember guys, Earth is our reference point. Why Earth is our reference point? Because we are defining everything with respect to Earth. Like if you say potential energy at Earth is 0. If you will move at a height h, your potential energy is mgh. Okay, so Earth is our reference level. We will be defining all our physics concepts with respect to Earth only. Okay, because this is our reference level. Like potential energy at the Earth is 0, potential of the Earth is 0 in case of electricity, we'll talk about. Okay, and similarly inertial and non-inertial frame, we are defining with respect to the Earth, that if a frame that is moving with a constant velocity. What do you mean by constant velocity? Remember guys, constant velocity means zero acceleration, and it is a vector quantity. That's why I am writing it down as with arrow. Okay, so what do you mean by constant velocity? Having zero acceleration or at rest with respect to Earth. At rest means velocity is 0, and hence acceleration obviously 0. With respect to Earth is known as my inertial frame. Now, what is the definition of non-inertial frame? A frame moving with a acceleration with respect to Earth is known as non-inertial frame. Non-inertial frame. Or in simple words, I can say a frame that is accelerating with respect to Earth. That is accelerating with respect to Earth is my non-inertial frame. Okay guys, this is the basic definition. But how to understand this? I will give you a real life example. That is our third motto of this lecture series, which is how we're going to study this. We're going to study this by taking real life example. Okay. So a frame accelerating with respect to Earth is known as non-inertial frame. And remember guys, this is very important. Very important, that Newton's laws are valid in inertial frame. Newton's laws are invalid in non-inertial frame. I will explain to you why is it so and what we have to do in order to make Newton's law valid in case of non-inertial frame. Okay, so Newton's law are completely valid in case of inertial frames. Actually, Newton has defined his laws, Newton first law, second law, third law, on the basis of inertial frame only. Okay, so Newton's laws are completely invalid in case of non-inertial frame. And remember guys, we will be doing some things. I will explain to you what is that in order to make Newton's law valid in non-inertial frame? There is a simple manipulation that we will be doing in order to make Newton's law valid in case of non-inertial frame. Okay, but this is very important. Like, it is very important. You will see why is it so when I will give you a real life example. Okay, but before that, guys, let me remind you like how physics works. Guys, let me know how physics works. Physics works when some experiment has happened, and on behalf of that experiment, we develop our theory. Okay, like an apple has fallen in 18th century or 17th century when Newton saw that apple has fallen from a tree to the earth. That was an experiment. Because experiment can't lie, on behalf of that experiment, Newton went on and developed his theory of gravitation, isn't it? Isn't it? So how physics works, an experiment has happened, on behalf of that experiment we develop certain theory to justify that experiment, because experiment can't lie. Okay, I will give you some examples. First, Newton's law. When Newton saw that an apple has fallen, this is apple, it has fallen from certain tree to the earth. Second is Oersted experiment in magnetism. What Oersted did? Oersted checked that whenever there is a current in a conductor, the magnetic compass placed near to that conductor shows deflection. So, okay, on behalf of that experiment, he went on to develop, okay, current carrying conductor can produce magnetic field. Isn't it revolutionary? That was a revolutionary theory. It was also a revolutionary theory. It was the starting of physics. Okay, and I will give you many more examples, like electromagnetic induction. When Henry and Faraday were doing some experiment, then he saw, okay, magnetism can also produce electricity. This was the experiment that proved that magnetism can be produced by electricity, and Faraday did an experiment which proved that, okay, electricity can also be produced by magnetism. Okay, so that's how physics works. In physics, always you can see, always an experiment has happened. On behalf of that experiment, we will develop certain theory to apply to prove that experiment. Okay, now I will explain to you what was the experiment in that case, inertial and non-inertial frame. So a frame that is moving with a constant velocity or at rest with respect to earth is a inertial frame, and a frame that is accelerating with respect to earth is a non-inertial frame. Okay, now guys, suppose we are having a lift. This is my lift and you are here, and lift is going up, okay, with an acceleration a. If it is having an acceleration a, then let me know, is it a inertial frame or a non-inertial frame? Yeah, according to my definition, it should be a non-inertial frame, isn't it? Hence, it is a non-inertial frame. Non-inertial frame. Okay, so Newton's law are not valid in it. So we will apply Newton's law from two different positions. One, at the earth, by looking this picture from the earth, and second, by looking this picture from observer point of view. Or you can say in the lift, in lift. Okay, so this is my non-inertial frame. This is my inertial frame. And I have already told you why is it my inertial frame, because we have assumed for our convenience that earth is an inertial frame, and with respect to that, I have defined that which frame is my non-inertial frame. If a frame that is moving with some acceleration with respect to earth is a non-inertial frame. This guy is moving with an acceleration a, with upward acceleration a, and hence it is a non-inertial frame. Okay, so we can choose two frames. I will see what is happening to this guy from earth point of view. Okay, that is my inertial frame, and I will see what will happen to this guy from an observer sitting in the lift, or when I will be in the frame of the lift, that will be my non-inertial frame. And I have already told you guys that Newton's law are valid in which frame? In the frame of the earth, which is the inertial frame. Newton's laws are not valid in non-inertial frame. I will explain to you why is it so, and what we have to do in order to make Newton's law valid in non-inertial frame. Okay, we have to do some manipulations, we have to do some calculations in order to make Newton's law valid in non-inertial frame. But yeah, Newton's laws are valid in inertial frame. So I will apply my Newton's first law to this guy. Okay, what is Newton's first law? That net force has to be equal to the mass of that guy multiplied by the net acceleration of that particle. So Newton's first law is simply F equal to ma. Net force has to be equal to mass of that particle multiplied by net acceleration. Simple. So I will apply this Newton's first law. This is Newton's first law. I will apply this law to this earth initial frame and to non-inertial frame. Let's see. I should rub it up. Yeah. So I will apply this Newton law, F equal to ma. First, from the inertial frame. So inertial frame is my frame of the earth. And remember guys, what is the real experience you guys are having? You guys must feel heavier in this case, or lighter. Yeah, lighter. Okay. So after going through this lecture, you will be absolutely sure that why you feel lighter when a lift will go upward and why you guys feel heavier when a lift will go downward. Okay. So this is the experiment. This is an experiment. It can't lie that when a lift will go upward and you are in a lift, you must feel lighter. Okay, this is an experiment. This experiment can't lie. Now we have to develop our theory in such a way so that it explains this experiment. Isn't it? Such that an apple has fallen from the tree to the earth. That was an experiment, and Newton developed his theory, which is gravitation, in order to explain that concept. Similarly, this is an experiment. You guys feel light when lift is going upward. So in order to prove that, we will be developing our theory for the non-inertial frame to explain this concept. Okay. But for simplicity, first we will be starting from inertial frame earth. Okay. I am at a earth. Suppose you are here and I am here. I am at the earth. I am looking at you. What I see, okay, you are moving upward with a velocity with an acceleration of a. So net force on you, which is simply normal, is acting upward. Okay. So this is you. Normal is acting upward. Your weight is acting downward. So what is resultant force as you are going upward? So net force in upward direction has to be equal to the mass times the acceleration you guys are having. Okay, isn't it? Net force in this force has to be in the upward direction because you guys are moving in upward direction, and acceleration is also in upward direction. So Newton's law, what is Newton's law? Net force must be equal to the mass of that particle multiplied by the acceleration of that particle. So net force in upward direction has to be equal to the mass into acceleration in that direction. Acceleration in that direction is a multiplied by mass. What is the net force in that direction? Normal minus mg, isn't it? Because normal is acting upward, mg is acting downward, and hence n minus mg. This is the net force. Remember guys, this is net force. This word is very important. It is not simply force, it is net force. You have to take algebraic sum, as force is a vector quantity, and hence you have to take that in account, that you have to look for the algebraic sum. So n is acting upward, mg is acting downward. What is the resultant for that? N minus mg, because that guy is moving forward, and as normal must be larger than mg, then only that guy will move forward. Okay, that only that guy will move upward. That is what we have seen this particle from earth. Okay, this guy is moving upward. Okay, if someone will go in that direction, suppose this ball is moving in that direction, then obviously some force will be acting on that ball in that direction. Then only this ball can move in that direction, isn't it? Similarly, if this guy is moving upward, then from looking at the earth, looking from the earth, there must be a force that is acting upward that will keep that guy moving with an acceleration a. What is that force? Normal is acting upward, mg is looking downward, and hence normal minus mg must be equal to ma. This is from an observer that is sitting at the earth comfortably. I am on the earth, I am seeing that guy, okay, that lift is moving upward. Similarly, in that lift, there is a person, which is my friend, which is also moving with an acceleration a upward, and hence net force in that direction has to be equal to the mass times acceleration. What is net force? Normal is acting upward, mass is acting downward. So this is my net force in that direction, that has to be equal to the mass times acceleration. Okay, now let's look at this picture. If suppose now I will look at this picture from the frame of reference of B. Now I am at the lift and I will see what is happening to the particle B. Okay, and suppose I am particle B. Okay, I will see what is happening to myself. Okay, so but Newton's laws are not valid in that case, because I am in a lift which is a non-inertial frame. So Newton's laws are not valid. So we have to do some manipulation in order to make Newton's law valid. Okay, what is that manipulation? The manipulation is, when I will be in the lift or I will be in a non-inertial frame, then we have to apply a force in the opposite direction in which lift is moving, and that force is called pseudo force, pseudo force, that is not a real force, fictitious force, and its magnitude is equal to the mass of that particle multiplied by the acceleration of the frame. Let's do this again. When I will be using non-inertial frame in order to apply Newton's law, I have to apply, because I already told you that Newton's laws are not valid in this frame. So we have to do some manipulation in order to make Newton's law valid. What is my manipulation? This is my manipulation. This is my manipulation. What is this manipulation? In order to make Newton's law valid in this frame, we have to apply a force that will be in a direction opposite to the direction of the frame, and magnitude of that force must be equal to the mass of that particle, in which if we are talking about that particle, and a is the acceleration acceleration with which that frame is going upward. Okay, so we have to do this for non-inertial frame. Okay, now apply our Newton's law for non-inertial frame. Let's see what's going on. So I am at the lift, I am in the lift, I am particle B. But I will see I am at rest, isn't it? Everything is going downward with the velocity, with an acceleration A. I am at rest. Okay, because see, what is actually happening? If you are at a train and your train is moving at a speed of, let's say, 100 km/h, then what you will see? You will not say that I am moving with the speed of 100 km/h. You will say platform is going backward with the speed of 100 km/h, isn't it? Because that's how you define motion. Okay, if you are in the frame of the train, then you will see that platform is moving backward with the speed of 100 km/h or minus 100 km/h. But you guys are at rest. Okay, but from an observer on the platform, that guy will say that train is moving with a speed of 100 km/h, and hence person in the train is also moving with a speed of 100 km/h. But if I will ask you, you are going in a train, you will say, okay, I'm not going anywhere. That guy is moving backward with a speed of 100 km/h, isn't it? That's how it works. That's how this is called a relative term. Okay, so motion is a very relative term. So now we are in the frame of reference of that guy in the lift. I will say I am at rest. I'm not moving at all. So all other guys are moving with an acceleration minus A downward. Okay, isn't it? So that's how it works. So if I am the observer, and I am in the frame of that observer, I want to apply Newton's law. I will say I am at rest. So net force on me has to be 0. If I am person B, I am looking from the point of view from person B. Okay, I am person B. I am looking from point of view of person B. I will say I am at rest. I am not moving. Those other guys are moving with an acceleration A downward. Okay, I am at completely rest. If I am at rest, then obviously net force on me has to be 0, isn't it? Let's see. So net force on me. What are the forces that is acting on me? What are the forces that is acting on me? Yeah, forces that is acting on me is simply N has to be equal to mg. Okay, isn't it? Normal is acting upward, mg is acting downward. Okay, this is the case because I will say I am at rest, and hence no net force on me has to be 0, and hence forces in upward direction must be equal to the forces in the downward direction, because normal is acting upward and mg is acting downward. But remember guys, Newton's laws are not valid in this case. So in order to make Newton's law valid, we have to apply a force which is pseudo force, which is not a real force, which is a fictitious force whose magnitude is given by ma, and that will act downward in this case. So it has to be equal to ma. Now this is true because Newton's law are not valid in this case. Okay guys. See guys, that's why, because this extra force acts when you are in the frame of that observer, when I am the observer, this extra force, pseudo force, act in downward direction. That's why we are feeling light. Yeah, guys, it has to be heavier. It has to be heavier. Okay, because that extra force is acting downward, that is making us feel heavier. Okay, and reverse is the case. When lift will go down, you will feel lighter. Okay, so this is actually what is happening. This is the basic physics behind that particles, behind that what is actually going on. Now let's do this concept, same concept, when lift is moving. Lift is moving downward. Okay, let's see what will going on. Now see guys, if this is my lift, now this lift is moving downward. Okay, now again I have to choose two observer. One is at the ground, one is this guy B. This is ground or earth. What is it? Is this the inertial frame or non-inertial frame? Inertial frame. What is B? B is a non-inertial frame. So what we are going to do? Newton's laws are valid in it. Newton's laws are not valid in it. So according to A, B is moving with an acceleration of A downward, isn't it? So I will say net force on that guy in the downward direction. Normal is acting upward, mg is acting downward. So net force has to be in downward direction, has to be larger because we are having a acceleration. This lift is moving downward with an acceleration A, and hence mg must be minus n has to be equal to ma. Isn't it? Because downward force, net downward force must be equal to the mass times the net downward acceleration. What is net downward force? It is mg minus m must be equal to the mass times the net downward acceleration, which is A. Okay, that's Newton's law tells us that net force must be equal to the mass times the acceleration of that particle. Let's see what will happen to a non-inertial frame. Remember guys, now in this case, if this lift is moving in this direction, then we have to apply a force which is ma in that direction, which is non-real force, pseudo force, fictitious force, you can name whatever it is. Okay, because Newton's laws are not valid in it, so in order to make Newton's law valid, we have to apply a force that will be in a direction opposite to the direction of in which lift is moving. So now I am observer B, I am at rest. I will say I am at rest, I am not moving at all. All other guys around, all other buildings and all other things are moving with a velocity with an acceleration E in the upward direction. So if I am that observer, I will say I am at rest and net force hence must be equal to normal must be equal to mg. Okay, if this is me, I will say normal is acting upward, mg is acting downward, and I am at rest. Normal has to be equal to mg. But this Newton law is not valid in non-inertial frame, so we have to apply a force ma now in upward direction. So this has to be equal to this. Yeah. So this is for non-inertial frame and for lift going in downward direction. Okay guys, so that's how you will be dealing with inertial frame and the non-inertial frame. Okay, see, in non-inertial frame, Newton's laws are completely invalid. So you have to apply a force that is non-real, pseudo, or fictitious force in order to make Newton's law valid. And we have done that. Okay, if lift is going downward, then we have the direction of that force must be opposite to that, and magnitude of that force must be equal to the mass of that particle, with what particle we are talking about, which particle we are talking about, mass of that particle multiplied by the acceleration of that particle. So that is ma is looking upward, so n plus ma has to be equal to mg. Okay, yeah, so this is the case when lift is going downward, and we have already defined what will be the case when lift will go upward. Okay, so see guys, that's the physics behind that. That's why you guys feel lighter and heavier. Okay, yeah. So this is it guys, this is the basic physics behind inertial and the non-inertial frame. Okay, so I am hoping that now it will help. Now if you will go in a lift from now onwards, you will be clear, it will be very clear in your mind right from the sketch that what is actually going on, why you guys are feeling happier, why you guys are feeling lighter, what is the physics behind that, what is the science behind that makes you feel lighter and happier in case of a non-inertial frame I'm talking about. Okay, if that lift is moving with a constant velocity, you don't feel anything. You don't feel anything because we have already defined what is my non-inertial frame and inertial frame. Inertial frame are those which are at rest with respect to the earth or are moving with a constant velocity. Because if that lift start moving with a constant velocity, then acceleration is 0. And if acceleration is 0, obviously n equal to mg. Acceleration is 0, n equal to mg. You don't feel nothing. You will not feel lighter or happier. Okay, our science proved that. So what we have understood from this, that when a lift will move downward, we will feel lighter. Why is it so? Because there is a force that is acting in upward direction when lift will move downward, and what will happen if lift will move upward with an acceleration E, we will feel lighter, heavier. Why is it so? Because in order to make Newton's law valid, there must be a force that will act in opposite direction now, in this direction, and hence we will feel heavier in this case because an extra force has added. This force, this is not a real force, but this is the extra force that will act in the direction of the gravity, that will make you feel heavier. And when lift will go upward, there is a force that will act downward. When lift will go downward, there is a force of ma that will act upward, which is in the opposite direction of your weight, and hence it will make you feel lighter. And hence in this case, if lift will go upward, we have a force that will act downward, that will make you feel heavier. Okay, this is the case. So in order to make Newton's law valid in case of non-inertial frame, we have to apply this force. That is not a real force. There is no existence of this force. This is a non-real force. But why it comes into the picture? Because we have to make Newton's law valid in non-inertial frame. There is nothing like Newton's law in case of non-inertial frame. Newton's laws are always valid in case of inertial frame only. So if you will talk about, if you want to apply Newton's law in case of non-inertial frame, you have to have applied these forces, this pseudo force. Okay, so I have proved that why you guys feel lighter and why you guys feel heavier in case of lift. So you will feel lighter when a lift will go down, and you will feel heavier when a lift will go up. So this is the case. This is the basic science and basic physics behind that why is it so. There is one more example of circular motion of merry-go-round. I will explain to you that in some other lecture. Okay, in which there is also an example, which is a very beautiful example of again non-inertial frame and inertial frame. So keep that in mind. In order to apply Newton's law for non-inertial frame, you have to apply a pseudo force. Okay, and do check the direction of that pseudo force. And if we are working from inertial frame, that is Earth, we don't have to worry about at all. Okay, so this is it, guys. This is it for this lecture. I'll be meeting you next time with some more stuff or some more interesting stuff in this special edition of our lecture series. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.